Imagine you're plunging into the ocean, deeper than you've ever gone before. The temperature drops, the pressure builds, and the light fades away until it's pitch black. You're surrounded by an eerie silence, but it's not just the absence of sound that gets to you. It's the creeping sense that you're being watched. Something is out there, lurking in the darkness. Suddenly, you see it, a shape moving fluidly, eerily, its eyes shining like orbs in the abyss. A squid, but not just any squid. It's an alien-like creature, designed for survival in the most extreme environment on Earth. And the deeper you go, the creepier it gets. Why do squids, particularly deep-sea squids, hold such an unsettling place in our imaginations? What makes these creatures of the deep so strange, so different from anything else on Earth? Today, we're diving into the deep ocean to uncover why squids get creepier the deeper you go. The masters of the deep, squids, part of the cephalopod family that also includes octopuses and cuttlefish, are often considered one of the most intelligent and adaptable animals on the planet. But it's their deep-sea relatives that truly earn the title of creepy. Living in the dark depths of the ocean, squids have evolved remarkable features that allow them to survive where few creatures could. The conditions down there are extreme. No sunlight, freezing temperatures, crushing pressures, and almost total isolation. Yet squids thrive in these depths, and their adaptations are nothing short of mind-blowing. What makes squids so creepy, though? It's not just their intelligence or the way they look. It's how they've evolved to become masters of survival in the deep ocean. And if we're being honest, it's their ability to be both beautiful and terrifying in a way that few other creatures on Earth can replicate. In this video, we're going to explore what makes squids such incredible creatures, especially when you venture into the darkest corners of the ocean. From their bizarre anatomy to their disturbing hunting methods, squids are the ultimate survivors in a world we can't even begin to imagine. Squids and their environments. The deep ocean. The deep ocean is like a different planet. It's so dark that even the stars above seem like distant memories. The pressure down there is intense enough to crush submarines, and the temperature is barely above freezing. It's a place where life has had to adapt in ways that we can hardly comprehend. And that's exactly where squids thrive. To truly understand why squids get creepier the deeper you go, we need to grasp the environment they call home. As humans, we're used to sunlight, warmth, and relatively stable pressures. But imagine living in a place where light never reaches, where the water is near freezing, and where the pressure would flatten most creatures. To survive here, everything about you has to be built for extremes. The deeper we go, the more alien life becomes, and in these depths, squids rule. They've developed evolutionary traits that make them uniquely suited to these harsh environments. From their mind-boggling eyes to their ability to transform their skin, we'll uncover how squids are uniquely adapted to the darkest, most isolating places on Earth. The anatomy of a squid. More than just tentacles. Squids are some of the most complex creatures in the ocean, and their anatomy is a big part of why they are so fascinating and creepy. At first glance, squids might seem like simple creatures. A few tentacles, a body shaped like a torpedo. But look closer, and you'll see that there's so much more than that. Let's break it down, starting with their eyes. Squid eyes are huge, and when it comes to deep-sea squids, they're absolutely massive. The largest eyes in the animal kingdom, in fact. And they don't just look big for no reason. These enormous eyes are perfectly adapted to the pitch-black ocean. Unlike most creatures, squids don't rely on external light to see. Instead, their huge eyes are capable of detecting the faintest glimmers of bioluminescence, the light produced by other creatures in the depths. The larger the eye, the more light it can capture, allowing the squid to see in near total darkness. This adaptation is key for hunting, avoiding predators, and navigating the incredibly hostile environment that is the deep ocean. The eerie factor comes in when you consider how unsettling it must feel to have an eye the size of a dinner plate focused on you, and in absolute silence, no less. Tentacles and suckers, an unsettling hunting machine. Now let's move on to the squid's most iconic feature, their tentacles. Squids have 8 arms, and 2 longer tentacles that they use for feeding. The arms are lined with hundreds of suckers, which help them grab and hold onto their prey. But these aren't just your average suction cups. The suckers are equipped with tiny hooks that allow squids to latch onto their prey with terrifying force. When hunting, squids use their tentacles to reach out and snatch prey at lightning speed. Some squids can even stretch their tentacles more than 3 times the length of their body to capture food, making them incredibly efficient hunters in the dark depths. They don't waste time. They go straight for the kill. But here's where things get creepy. The tentacles of some deep-sea squids are almost spider-like, moving silently through the water, feeling around for their next meal. And when a squid strikes, it's fast, too fast for many creatures to escape. This level of precision and agility is unsettling, because it's not just instinct. It's almost like the squid is calculating its moves, like a predator stalking its prey. Changing shape and color, the ultimate disguise. Next up, squids are shape-shifting masters. The deep-sea world is filled with creatures that rely on camouflage to avoid predators, but squids take it to a whole new level. They don't just blend into their surroundings, they become their surroundings. Squids have a special layer of skin called chromatophores which contain pigments. These chromatophores can expand or contract, allowing the squid to change the color of its skin almost instantly. But that's not all. Deep-sea squids also have iridophores, cells that reflect light, giving their skin an eerie, almost otherworldly glow. This makes deep-sea squids appear as if they are floating in mid-air, a surreal and unnerving sight. Imagine this: you're in the ocean, with no light, and suddenly a squid appears before you. At first it's nothing but a faint shadow, but as you get closer, its skin begins to shift, shimmering and changing in patterns that seem almost alive. One moment, it's invisible, and the next, it could be glowing with bioluminescence, its colors reflecting the dim light from creatures around it. This ability to camouflage and even communicate through color changes makes squids incredibly difficult to track and almost impossible to catch. To make things even stranger, some deep-sea squids can also transform the texture of their skin, making it look spiky or smooth, depending on what they need to do. This gives them a level of adaptability that's hard to beat. The ink defense, a squid's last resort. When you think of squids, you probably think of their ink, a defense mechanism that's as creepy as it is effective. Squids can shoot a cloud of black ink to confuse predators and make their escape. But here's the thing, this ink is not just a simple spray. It's a carefully crafted chemical concoction that can contain a variety of toxins and irritants, which can make predators disoriented or even cause them to become nauseous. But in the deep ocean, squids take their ink defense one step further. Some species release an ink cloud that glows in the dark, creating a bioluminescent smokescreen to cover their escape. This ability makes squids not only masters of camouflage, but also escape artists when things get rough. Imagine a predator closing in, only to be suddenly blinded by a glowing ink cloud. The squid darts off into the dark, leaving nothing but a faint, shimmering glow behind. It's disorienting, mysterious, and downright creepy. The giant squid, from myth to reality. When it comes to squids, the giant squid stands out as one of the most iconic and creepiest creatures in the deep ocean. For centuries, the giant squid was considered the stuff of myth, a terrifying creature whispered about by sailors, described as a sea monster capable of dragging entire ships under the waves. Tales of giant tentacles wrapping around masts and pulling boats into the ocean created an aura of mystery and fear that surrounded the giant squid. But in 1925, a real-life giant squid was captured for the first time in Japan. And then, in 2004, the first footage of a giant squid was captured live in its natural habitat. These events helped transform the giant squid from a legendary sea monster into a scientifically confirmed creature. But despite our knowledge, there's still much that remains mysterious and unsettling about this creature. The size and power of the giant squid. Let's talk about size. The giant squid can reach up to 40 feet in length. That's as long as a school bus, and it's all tentacles. These massive creatures have 8 arms and 2 longer tentacles that they use to catch prey. With tentacles as long as 24 feet, the giant squid is a predator that can strike from a terrifying distance. The squid's mantle, the part of its body that houses its organs, can grow up to 10 feet long. But it's not just the size that's unsettling, it's the power these creatures hold. With eyes that can grow up to 10 inches in diameter, the giant squid has the largest eyes in the animal kingdom. These eyes aren't just for show, they're specifically designed to help the squid see in the pitch-black abyss where it lives and to detect prey from incredible distances. And those huge eyes aren't just creepy, they're capable of seeing faint glimmers of light, helping the squid track bioluminescent prey. How the giant squid hunts, silent and swift. The giant squid lives in the midnight zone of the ocean, around 2,000 to 4,000 feet below the surface, where the only light is the bioluminescence from other creatures. This dark, cold environment is the perfect hunting ground for the giant squid, which uses its incredible size and speed to overwhelm prey. Unlike other squids, the giant squid's tentacles are designed for power. They are equipped with suckers that have sharp chitinous rings to hold onto its prey with terrifying strength, The giant squid hunts fish, other squid, and even deep-diving predators like sperm whales. One of the most eerie parts of its hunting method is its ability to move in total silence, gliding through the water with the precision of a predator that's always on the prowl. What's even more unsettling is the squid's ability to lash out at incredible speeds when attacking. Using its tentacles, it can capture prey in an instant, drawing them close to its mouth for a final strike. The giant squid isn't just big, it's a skilled predator in the deep, silent, and dark waters of the ocean. The giant squids struggle with sperm whales. Despite their size and predatory skills, giant squids have one major predator, the sperm whale. In fact, sperm whales and giant squids have been engaged in an ancient battle for survival for millions of years. These whales dive to the deepest parts of the ocean in search of their favorite meal, giant squids. The battles between sperm whales and giant squids are nothing short of legendary. Sperm whales use their massive teeth to fight and capture giant squids in the deep. These encounters leave scars on the sperm whales, which have been documented with deep circular scars from the squid's suction cups. These marks are evidence of the fierce struggle between the two creatures, and they only add to the mystique and creepy allure of the giant squid. The giant squid's survival mechanisms. Giant squids aren't without their defenses. In addition to their massive size, they have one last resort, ink. When faced with a predator, the giant squid can release a cloud of black ink, which confuses the attacking predator, allowing the squid to make a quick escape. The ink isn't just black, it can be bioluminescent, adding a glowing light show to the dark waters, creating a disorienting and eerie spectacle. But while ink can help the squid escape, it's not always enough to save it from the hungry jaws of sperm whales. Some squid, however, evolve their own strategies. Some species are known to have longer arms that allow them to reach their prey with greater distance and accuracy, while others have light-producing cells to blend into their surroundings, making them nearly invisible to predators. The giant squid's effect on popular culture. The giant squid has captured the imagination of people for centuries. From the ancient Greek tales of sea monsters to the famous Kraken myth, the giant squid has been woven into the fabric of mythology, and of course, it made its big Hollywood debut in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, where it fought off Captain Nemo and his crew. But the giant squid's true story is just as strange and eerie as the legends. Even though we now know it exists, its elusive nature and the battles it faces with predators like the sperm whale make it a creature of mythic proportions. It's a reminder of just how much of the ocean remains unexplored and just how many mysterious, creepy creatures are still out there. Camouflage, a squid's most unsettling power. When it comes to survival in the deep, dark waters, camouflage isn't just a luxury for squids, it's an absolute necessity. Squids have evolved to become masters of disguise, blending into their surroundings with incredible precision. But what makes their camouflage so creepy is how dynamic and instantaneous it is. Imagine you're swimming in the abyssal depths of the ocean, and out of nowhere, a creature appears before you, changing shape and color in the blink of an eye. That's the power of a squid's skin. But it's not just the ability to blend in that makes squids so strange. It's how they can transform their skin to mimic textures and patterns that seem almost alien. These abilities aren't just designed to protect them from predators. They also serve as a highly effective hunting mechanism. The secret weapon, chromatophores and iridophores. Squid skin is covered with special cells that allow them to manipulate their appearance. These cells are called chromatophores and iridophores. Chromatophores are cells that contain pigment, and when a squid wants to change color, these cells expand or contract to reveal different hues. This allows the squid to blend seamlessly into its environment, whether it's hiding against the rocky ocean floor, blending with the colors of a coral reef, or even mirroring the patterns of other creatures around it. But the real showstopper in squid camouflage is iridophores. These cells reflect light in such a way that they create an almost iridescent glow. In deep-sea species, this ability is essential for creating patterns of bioluminescence, a glowing effect that not only confuses prey, but can make a squid appear out of nowhere. This eerie glow creates a spectral effect, almost like something from a science fiction movie, further adding to the squid's unnerving presence. Imagine swimming through the water, and suddenly, a squid's skin shifts, reflecting an array of colors, glowing like a ghostly apparition. It's an eerie visual that feels otherworldly, almost as if the squid is materializing from nothing. Squid camouflage in action, adaptability at its best. What's truly unsettling about squids is how quickly they can adapt to their environment. A squid's ability to mimic its surroundings doesn't just happen at a slow pace, it happens in real time. Whether it's to hide from predators or to ambush prey, squids can adapt so quickly that their camouflage almost seems alive. Squids have been known to mimic the texture of coral or the roughness of rocks on the ocean floor. Some species even have the ability to turn their bodies spiky, creating an appearance that resembles seaweed or spiny fish, which helps them remain undetected in a sea of predators. Other squids can mimic the swaying motions of plants, making them nearly impossible to spot. In deep-sea environments, this form of camouflage is essential for avoiding predators like sperm whales or deep-sea fish that would otherwise make short work of the squid. But it's also a great hunting tool. Squids can ambush their prey by disguising themselves as part of the environment, waiting for unsuspecting creatures to come closer before striking with terrifying speed. The alien nature of squid camouflage. What makes squid camouflage especially creepy is the fact that it doesn't just hide them, it makes them appear alien. In the pitch-black depths, a squid's ability to transform its skin into brightly glowing patterns, mimic underwater textures, or even blend with the movement of the water, creates the illusion that they are not just creatures of the sea, but something out of another world. Imagine swimming through the abyss when suddenly, a squid's skin changes color right in front of you. The glow it emits could be the only source of light you see for miles, creating an almost supernatural effect. It's a living creature that seems to defy the rules of reality, as if it's not even bound by the same physical laws we know. Squid camouflage and their psychological effect on humans. So why does this camouflage make squids so creepy? It's not just because they can blend in with their surroundings. It's the unknown factor. In the deep ocean, where light is scarce, we are already unfamiliar with our surroundings. We rely on our eyes to make sense of the world around us. But when a squid disappears or transforms before your eyes, it breaks our expectations and creates a sense of unease. It's as if the creature is playing tricks on us, making us second guess what's real and what isn't. In fact, some researchers believe that this level of camouflage could have a psychological effect on humans too. Squids aren't just physical predators, they're mental ones. Their ability to vanish into their environment can trigger a primal sense of fear of the unknown. In a place as alien and hostile as the deep sea, creatures that seem to have no predictable shape or form are the stuff of nightmares. The squid's brain, a surprisingly complex mind. When you think of intelligence, squids may not be the first creatures that come to mind. But when it comes to brains, squids are surprisingly complex. Their brains are larger and more developed than those of most invertebrates, and in fact, their neurological systems rival those of some vertebrates. What's truly unsettling is that squid intelligence isn't just about basic survival instincts, it's about problem solving, learning, and even deception. While the nervous system of a squid is sophisticated, what makes them especially creepy is their ability to learn from experience. Squids can change their behavior based on previous encounters with their environment. Imagine an animal that can actually learn, adapt, and make decisions based on experience. Now imagine that animal living in the deep, dark, and silent ocean, with the eerie ability to stalk and outwit prey and predators alike. That's the level of intelligence squids possess. The brain of a squid, a comparison to humans. A squid's brain is structured in a way that allows it to process information quickly and efficiently. It's not just the size of the brain that's interesting, it's the fact that much of the brain is actually dedicated to its tentacles. The tentacles themselves are incredibly sensitive, with specialized neurons that help the squid manipulate objects and catch prey. This means that a squid's tentacles are not just simple appendages, they're highly intelligent, adaptive, and even autonomous. The squid's brain processes information from its eyes, tentacles, and environment at an impressive rate, allowing it to react with precision and incredibly fast reflexes. One of the most unsettling aspects of squid intelligence is how it allows them to hunt and interact with their environment. Squids don't just passively wait for food to come to them, they can actively chase prey, decide when to strike, and plan their movements. This deliberate behavior and ability to adapt make them feel far less like simple animals and more like highly skilled predators that are always thinking several steps ahead. Squid problem solving, a creepy level of intelligence. Squids aren't just fast and elusive, they're also problem solvers. In captivity, squids have been observed manipulating objects, escaping enclosures, and navigating mazes to find food. These behaviors show that squids are capable of not only complex thought, but also the ability to learn and adapt to challenges in their environment. Some species of squid, such as the cuttlefish, have demonstrated advanced problem-solving abilities. In one study, cuttlefish were presented with a cage that had food inside, and they had to figure out how to open the cage to get to the food. They not only figured out how to open the cage, but they also learned the quickest way to access the food after several attempts. The most unsettling part of all this: squids can strategize. They can plan how to hunt, avoid predators, and even adapt their behavior when facing new challenges. Their ability to think through problems and come up with solutions in such a short amount of time makes them feel less like wild animals and more like intelligent adversaries. Squid communication, not just simple signals. Squids also communicate in ways that are surprisingly complex for creatures that live in such an isolated environment. Unlike humans, squids don't rely on vocal sounds for communication. Instead, they use color and light to communicate with each other. The ability to change color isn't just for camouflage or hunting, it's also used for signaling to other squids. This form of communication isn't just about expressing emotions or intentions, but also about warning off predators or attracting mates. The most unsettling aspect of squid communication is that their signals are incredibly subtle. Squids use a combination of colors, textures, and even body postures to send messages to each other. Messages that we can't even begin to interpret fully. They can send signals in the darkness, communicate in ways we can't understand, and their eerie color-changing displays create a sense of mystery and tension when seen in their natural environment. Squid intelligence and their psychological effect on humans. The fact that squids are so intelligent and capable of problem-solving makes them deeply unsettling. The idea that an animal can think, plan, and manipulate its environment to its advantage in the eerie silence of the ocean creates an unsettling mental image. But it's not just their hunting skills or their ability to escape danger, it's how these skills seem almost supernatural. Squids seem to have a mind of their own, one that can adapt and react to a constantly changing environment. The more we learn about squid intelligence, the more they seem to defy expectations, as if they're not just mindless predators, but creatures that can outthink and outmaneuver their enemies. When you add in the fact that squids are elusive and mysterious, it's easy to see why they hold such a powerful grip on our imagination. These creatures aren't just living in the deep ocean, they're evolving, thinking, and adapting in ways that are both fascinating and creepy. The unsettling nature of squid reproduction. When it comes to reproduction, squids take the creepy factor to the next level. Most animals follow a simple mating ritual, but for squids, their reproduction process is anything but ordinary. Squids have a variety of unique and sometimes unsettling reproductive strategies that add to their mystique, and many of these behaviors feel almost alien compared to other creatures. For one, squids don't just mate in a typical sense. In fact, their mating process can involve violence, deception, and unusual anatomical features. The male squid, when it's time to mate, will often inject a sperm packet directly into the female squid using a specialized arm called the hectocotylus. This arm is a modified tentacle that is used exclusively for reproduction. The creepy sperm transfer. The hectocotylus isn't just any appendage, it's a strange, elongated arm that holds the sperm packet. The male squid uses this arm to transfer the sperm to the female, often injecting it into a cavity in her body where the eggs are stored. While this may seem like a standard reproductive method in some species, in squids, this process is more disturbing because the male will often detach the hectocotylus and leave it inside the female after mating. This sacrifice can result in the male losing that arm entirely, making the act of reproduction a risky, and in some cases, violent process. This reproductive behavior is both fascinating and unsettling because of the physical consequences it has for the male squid. The idea that the male loses his reproductive arm in the process, essentially severing a part of himself in order to ensure the continuation of his species, adds a strange element of self-sacrifice to the mating process. It feels almost unnatural for a creature to go so far for reproduction, almost as if they are willing to give up a part of themselves to ensure survival. Self-fertilization, the ultimate reproductive trick. But it doesn't stop there. In some species of squid, self-fertilization is possible. That's right, a squid can reproduce on its own, without the need for a mate. This form of reproductive isolation is unusual and creepy because it means that a squid could potentially live its entire life without ever interacting with another squid of its species. The idea that a creature can reproduce without ever needing a partner introduces an almost futuristic or alien quality to squids. Self-fertilization in squids also highlights the adaptability of these creatures. In the harsh deep-sea environments they inhabit, finding a mate can be difficult. By developing the ability to self-fertilize, squids have ensured their survival even in the most isolated and barren environments. The fact that some species can continue their lineage alone only adds to their mystery and to the creepiness of their reproductive abilities. Courtship and the eerie rituals. Squids, like many other creatures, engage in courtship rituals before mating, but these rituals are far from what you might expect. Some species of squid exhibit complex behaviors that involve color changes, body postures, and even flashing lights. These behaviors are designed to attract potential mates, but they can also serve as a warning to other males. One of the most unsettling aspects of squid courtship is how the male may use color and patterns to either impress the female or intimidate rivals. The male squid may flash a variety of colors, from bright reds and blues to iridescent greens, to catch the attention of a female. But this isn't just about showing off, it's a way of displaying dominance and aggressiveness. Some males will even change their color and texture to blend into their environment, making it harder for other males to spot them, a kind of stealth strategy in the mating game. Squid mating aftermath, a dark end. After mating, the female squid will lay her eggs, often in a safe, hidden location. Some species of squid lay hundreds or even thousands of eggs, ensuring the continuation of their species. However, the process doesn't end with the laying of eggs. In some squid species, the female may guard her eggs until they hatch, but she often dies shortly after the eggs are laid. This gives the reproduction cycle a dark and tragic tone, as the female sacrifices her life to give birth to the next generation. It's a cycle that's as haunting as it is necessary for survival. The female sacrifice, coupled with the violent nature of the male's reproductive behavior, adds a darker side to the squid's life cycle. The fact that death often follows the act of reproduction makes their mating process feel almost like a ritual sacrifice, adding a sense of eeriness to an already mysterious creature. The apex predators of the deep sea. While squids are undoubtedly some of the most creepy creatures in the ocean, they also play a critical role in the ecosystem, particularly in the deep sea. Despite their sometimes otherworldly appearance and eerie abilities, squids are predators at the top of their game, adapted for a life of hunting, stealth, and survival. Squids primarily feed on smaller fish, crustaceans, and even other squid species. Their tentacles, lined with suckers and sharp hooks, allow them to catch prey with terrifying speed. But it's not just their hunting tactics that make squids formidable predators. It's their intelligence and adaptability. Squids don't just wait for their food to come to them. They actively seek out prey, using their advanced nervous systems to anticipate the movements of their targets. What's particularly unsettling about squids' role in the ecosystem is how they fit into the food chain. While they may be predators themselves, they also serve as prey for sperm whales, sharks, and even humans. The idea of squids being both feared predators and vulnerable prey adds an interesting layer of complexity to their existence, especially when considering the constant battle for survival that takes place in the ocean's depths. Squids as middlemen in the ocean's food web. Squids act as a crucial link in the ocean's food chain, filling a middle-level predator role that helps to regulate populations of smaller fish and other marine life. This means they are responsible for controlling the abundance of prey species, ensuring that the ecosystem remains in balance. Without squids, the populations of their prey would likely explode, leading to overpopulation in certain species, which could disrupt the entire ecosystem. In turn, squids themselves are preyed upon by larger animals like sperm whales. In fact, these whales are so closely tied to squid populations that their feeding habits are often centered around capturing and consuming squids at the depths where they live. The relationship between squids and sperm whales is an ancient and dramatic struggle for survival, making it a fascinating aspect of the food web. This balance between predator and prey also makes squids particularly vulnerable to changes in their environment. As apex predators, squids can't afford to be overfished or displaced from their habitats. A sudden shift in the abundance of their prey or the introduction of new predators could have devastating effects on squid populations, and the entire ecosystem could suffer as a result. Squids in the food chain, a delicate balance. While squids are effective predators, they also face incredible challenges as prey. Some of their most notorious predators are sperm whales, which dive deep into the ocean to hunt for squids. These whales are capable of diving as deep as 10,000 feet and can stay submerged for over an hour in search of their next meal. The deep-sea squid's role as prey for these massive animals is both a testament to their survival skills and a reminder of the harsh reality of life in the deep ocean. Yet, even though squids are prey, they are capable of outwitting or evading many of their would-be attackers. Some squid species have evolved defense mechanisms that allow them to escape from predators. They may eject a cloud of ink, creating a disorienting smokescreen to confuse predators, allowing the squid to make a swift escape. Others may change color to blend into their surroundings, vanishing from sight just as predators approach. Even more unsettling is how squids fight back. Some species of squid are known to strike first, attacking predators with their tentacles, using their speed and agility to overpower or fend off attackers. In the world of squids, the line between predator and prey is blurred, with many species capable of both hunting and defending in the same breath. Squids and humans, the creepy connection. Humans have had a long-standing relationship with squids. From fishing to culinary traditions, squids have been both harvested and studied by people for centuries. The calamari you've likely eaten in a restaurant is a perfect example of how squids have found their way into human culture and diets. But squids aren't just valuable as food, they're also fascinating subjects for scientific research. For centuries, squids have been a part of mythology and storytelling, often depicted as giant sea monsters capable of destroying ships. The most famous example of this is the kraken, a legendary squid-like creature said to drag entire vessels beneath the waves. This mythical creature helped fuel the mystery and fear surrounding squids, particularly giant squid, long before they were scientifically documented. Today, squids are still the subject of intense study, particularly in the fields of neuroscience and marine biology. Their intelligence, complex behaviors, and alien-like features continue to captivate scientists and enthusiasts alike. And as we explore more of the deep sea, we're likely to uncover even more strange and mysterious squid species that have yet to be discovered. Squids and the future of the ocean ecosystem. As we continue to explore the depths of the ocean, squids remain one of the most fascinating and terrifying creatures we encounter. Their role in the ecosystem is vital, not only as predators, but also as prey. Squids help maintain the delicate balance of marine life, ensuring that populations of other species remain in check. However, the future of squids is uncertain. Changes in the ocean environment, whether due to climate change, pollution, or overfishing, could disrupt the delicate balance of the food chain. As apex predators and vital links in the ecosystem, squids could face significant challenges in adapting to these shifts. As we look toward the future, it's clear that squids will continue to play a pivotal role in the ocean's ecosystems. But for now, they remain one of the most mysterious, eerie, and alien-like creatures that we have yet to fully understand.